The regular meeting of the Franklin Town Board was called to order at 7:30 p.m. Present were Jeff Taggart, Garrett Sitz, David Grant, Donnie Smith, Dwight Bruno, Mark Lang, and Paul Warner. The minutes were read from the May 2nd, 2017 meeting. Garrett Sitz approved the minutes as read. Donnie Smith seconded the motion, and all agreed. Dave Tuthill gave a report for the Kellogg Franklin Trust. They are waiting to hear about another grant from the O'Connor Foundation. A presentation was given by Gates Coal Insurance. They are able to lower the insurance for the town by $13,000 this year. Mark Lang reported that Delhi Telephone will be surveying at the town shed on Friday. Paving on Merrickville Road will be pushed back until August with all the rain we've been experiencing. NYSEG has been trimming trees away from the power lines, and the town is following behind to remove stumps and widening the road where possible. Garrett Sitz made a resolution to appoint Dale Downing, Deputy Code Enforcement Officer. David Grant seconded the motion, and all agreed. Tyler Gregory will take care of the Methodist Cemetery this year. He's been doing a great job so far this summer. Thanks to Tyler for his help. David Grant made a motion to have Joanna and Josh Jones mow the lawn at the town office. Dwight Bruno seconded the motion, and all agreed. From the planning board, a boundary line adjustment for Lewis Peshout. Don Hubbard reported at this time the grant to study the viability of the solar farm has been denied. There was a discussion regarding the insurance for the town. As part of their service, NBT Maine will come in and do employee in-service training. Even though the cost is higher than what was quoted by Gates Coal, it will still be cheaper than what it originally was quoted by Gates Coal. Donnie Smith made a motion to go with NBT Maine, Nimer for 1 year. David Grant seconded the motion, and all agreed. With nothing further to come before the board, Garrett Sitz made a motion to adjourn the meeting at 8:45 p.m. David Grant seconded the motion, and all agreed.
Any additions or corrections? I have a motion to accept the minutes.
I too make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Okay. Well, I guess Delhi Phone Company again.
So I brought with me a copy, or not a copy, this is the easement.
Okay.
So as you can see here, you'll have the easement, there's a spot to sign right there.
Mhm.
Needs a notary, so I'll leave it with you and deliver this when I come back.
Okay.
When you flip to the next page, this is the form that has to go to the county. So I just need you to sign it right there.
Right there.
That's the tax we pay for.
Yep.
And there's a copy of the survey that was done
Okay.
that shows the position of the building and the propane tank.
Did you look at this, Mark?
No, I see they were back here in the potato.
All you're gonna, yeah, they went in there, I wanted to put a point on line, midpoint, because most likely, a pole will have to go from, we'll have a pole up here by the building, and then there'll be a pole midpoint, and then there'll be a pole at the end of the,
Okay.
so I had to put a midpoint in there, just so we could find it and know where it is, because we'll have trees and stuff going on there. So that might be an offset, I didn't get back in there to see what it was. He flagged it, I don't know if he put the point on line, if he did, he'd label it as an offset, it'd be an offset off the line if stone's in the way or whatever.
I just happened to see him out there this morning, or this afternoon or something.
So we will be staking it out for a pole there and a
Okay.
pole up here. But what you'll see out there right now, he will put pins in, but we're gonna be moving stuff around out there. The spot that the cabinet for the DTC building will sit right up here in the corner, past the cell tower. And the pins will be put in, there's a stake right now that shows the far corner, that'd be the northwest,
Okay.
northeast corner, yeah. The northeast corner has a stake in there,
Okay.
so
Okay.
you can get an idea where you are.
Right. Okay, the only thing I see on what I have a question about, Jason, is where your, I believe your LP tank's gonna be.
Yep.
You know, it's taking up some possible valuable space. Let's see it. There's quite a bit of room in the back that we could put it instead of having it on the front. I know for
Yeah,
fill, well, we want to call that, to fill it.
and we could, the building could be pushed back, that has to be 10 feet from an ignition source, and I guess they count the door as an ignition source, correct? And the door is right
Right.
here.
Right.
So, I mean, we could,
I mean,
how
right.
far back would
Well,
you like to
I'm not
see?
saying the building's not the issue.
Mhm.
It's, you know, you've got a tank that's gonna be quote unquote 15 feet out front of the building.
Yep,
So it'll take any, you know, we've got Verizon, the reason being Verizon has notified us that they
Okay.
want a 900 square foot area for a generator and tank,
okay,
LP tank. And, you know, if we can keep, I mean, where you're building is fine, but if
yeah.
that tank could go maybe behind it or off, you know, so it doesn't take up that 15 feet between.
Is that an
You
issue
know what
for
I'm
filling the
talking
tank to
about?
put it 20 feet?
No,
It's
no,
30
we
foot
can have
hose
it
on there?
behind, because we're gonna have access to the building to start with. Our
Right.
generator will sit on the side of the building,
Yeah, as long as they can fill it,
as
right?
long as they can fill it
Right,
and we
and
can.
the driveway's there, so
That
you should be
shouldn't be
able to
a
back
problem at
up to
all.
it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the,
Right.
I don't know if anybody else sees a issue. That's the only thing pardon?
How come Jason didn't push us back towards the stone wall farther?
Would you like it back? It didn't push it back because the way that ditch is coming in there like that,
Yep.
as you go further back, the ditch, we figured you're gonna keep, you know, not get any more ditch there than we had to, so we kept it as close to the front as possible. Because there's plenty of room for
I
parking.
don't know if
but
he's worried about back, or this, you know,
This way.
away from.
It gets higher
Steeper.
and, yeah,
Okay,
it does, but
Yep.
now's the time.
yeah, now is the time.
Yeah.
I know originally when we talked about it, it was gonna be setting back further. You're right, Mark.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be back, more back towards that wall.
If you'd like it further back, we can look at pushing for maybe half the
If
distance.
we could, you have to.
I don't
anything-
think that'll be an
As
issue.
I said, anything is better than what we have, you know, if you, the further- and then if you set it back, the tank in front of it probably wouldn't be an issue.
Well, if we kept the building right where it is and put the tank behind, would there be an issue there? Because now you're behind the wall here. The parking is insignificant, I mean, they could park,
Right.
there's plenty of parking here. So the building being there, if this were back here, it's beyond this corner here.
That would be an improvement, but.
As long as
you
I
know,
can maintain 10 feet from really any point. of-
Exactly. And you're getting pretty tight on that with the drop off there, which you don't see on there too.
Right.
There'll be 6x6s in the ground along here with a fence
Mhm.
to make sure nobody
Right.
trips and falls over the thing.
Yeah, but you're gonna have a fence around it. anyway,
Yes,
right?
no, there won't be a fence
Oh,
around the
okay.
entire project, no.
Okay, not around the building.
Just, nope, the building's
So
a
that-
door with a lock,
So you don't go,
a generator and a tank.
and I think I read in the agreement anyway that the town is not held
No,
liable for anything that happens at that site. And that was a concern of the
Yep.
insurance carrier.
no,
You know, and that you, which own a good business, you're gonna maintain a
exactly.
high liability insurance anyway, coverage. That was the other concern that Bill had. I mean, realistically, if we could get it back, you know, cause I know when we talked, when you were here that day, you know, I was thinking it was gonna be further back.
I mean,
If you can go,
it shouldn't be an issue.
you know, go half would be great, you know,
How far you wanna see, this is 17 by 28. So if we went half the distance of it and pushed it back and put the tank behind it,
Yeah.
why don't we plan on doing that?
if you can, yes. It would be an improvement, you know,
Yep.
wouldn't take, that
If
would,
you go up
if you
there-
don't, that's gonna
I'll
be
tell you
dead
this, when I
space, so we
first
have
saw the
nothing.
survey, I looked at it and I went, oh, it looks like it's further up here than we had talked about, right?
Right.
And then I came out here last Friday, and I looked at the stake, and I looked at how it lays out, and it does look good in the spot. But that's not knowing about
Right.
tanks and propane tanks and something for
You know,
Verizon.
and what you're doing too, if you don't move it back, you create a big space, dead area space that can't be used.
That is definitely true.
Right.
There's no
And
doubt
that- and
about
we
it.
could keep, you know, we're
Yeah.
really limited on space out there.
We can do.
If you could do
You wanna
that,
look at pushing it half the distance of the building back and putting the tank behind it?
I think that'd be,
That's what we'll,
Be better.
that's what we'll head towards.
yeah, I think.
We should
that's-
be able to, there shouldn't be an issue with that.
You said Ron doing
Yeah, well, we'll have the stake changed, and then when Ron gets the survey, it'll be what it is. There's no significant difference in grade there,
Not really.
you know,
And it just, you
just
know,
more
you're,
material. You're probably gonna wind up with something in the back that drops off a little quicker than it is right now, you know? Slope will change in the back, but.
yeah, but I think that would be give us less dead space.
Okay.
Because once you're up in there, you know, that site will not be used for anything else. And
Yeah.
it shouldn't be, you know, and I understand that.
There'll probably be two, just so you know, a pole in behind there too.
Okay, yep. Yep, there'd be no problem with that. Yep. Any questions from the board? Does anybody else want to look at the survey to show what we're talking about? Okay. Well, how's the board feel on this? And the conveyance of easement, originally it was $2,500, they have been gracious enough to increase it to $5,000. Without much arm twisting.
And free
I don't know.
telephone for the town?
There is, oh,
What's that?
Free telephone for the town?
Not telephone.
no, not
But
telephone,
there will be
Internet.
basic television
Yeah.
and.
internet. And, okay, this is just to the town facility, but you said before, you said to the fire department?
But that's not the easement.
No, that's not.
The reason for that is things could change. You know what I mean? All kinds, the packages could change, things could change. But right now, and it's been the process for how many years, Bill?
Long time.
Yeah, when you pass a fire department, municipal stuff like that, we do provide the concessionary service too. Not the telephone,
Not the telephone.
But internet and that.
internet and basic television.
And what about Treadwell?
You're not coming through trouble, all right.
Where's Treadwell's?
You have the firehouse.
Firehouse.
Will
Right
we
by
come,
I believe
where's
it's going
the
right.
fire?
Right on 60.
Turn up.
Oh, turn up 16, yes. I mean, we're gonna be right near there, and when we do pass there, which will be eventually, yes.
What does eventually mean?
Like I said, the grant is an opportunity to get X amount of area, right?
Okay,
After that, I mean, when you're positioned right here with the cabinet, it's pretty obvious where the future is.
right, but, so, I mean, realistically, what are we talking, year, months, weeks, days?
I can't even tell you, really.
Can't really say
Because it could happen quickly, or it could not happen, you know?
at all,
There's the potential for that.
okay.
Because right now you plan on having some of it done by the end of 18,
Yeah, I mean, yes,
on the south side of 327.
yes.
But percentage-wise, you have no clue, you know, if it's gonna be 50% done or 10% done?
Well, it's gonna be 100% done as far as the distribution and in front of people's houses.
Okay,
It'll be 100% done by 2018,
okay,
definitely.
okay. But services, well, then services would be almost hooked up too then.
Yeah, you could have a potential backlog in just hooking up services for a while, you know?
Which we currently do.
Yeah.
Right,
But the hope is, as the main line goes in, for example, up 21,
right,
and Bennett Hollow gets constructed, to get, you don't need to have, what's the next one up? East Hanson Brook, for example. You don't need to do East Hanson Brook to do Bennett Hollow. So they'll be happening like this, and the mailings will go out.
and Bennett House
Of
can
course
be
not.
fed from two ways too.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it is.
Yeah, okay, I thought maybe, but that wasn't listed.
Yep.
That's all.
What about the site on Fleming Road?
The site on Fleming Road will not be constructed. The site on Fleming Road was before the opportunity here was available.
Thanks.
And all this technology is fiber optic, right?
This is
And to the,
pure fiber Ethernet to the home.
okay. Okay,
It's active Ethernet is what they call it. So it's not a split signal. It's your fiber right back to the office.
okay.
It's a pretty impressive product.
Yeah.
It's actually quite simple in design, you know? It's a switch and a terminating device out at your location.
Basically a rope to your,
All the complicated things, the things that may take 14 days to fix in DSL,
yeah.
are just not in the equation. It's impressive.
The nice thing with the fiber being a point-to-point system, and that's what it's actually called, Active E is point-to-point. The point originates with us, comes to your home, it's right to the switch on the side. Any trouble that's in there, 99.9% of it, we can diagnose right from the office. So you call us up, or obviously you can't call us if your phone is out, you call us on your cell phone and say, hey, my phone doesn't work, we're shooting that line. And that's how quickly we can actually do it. The central office technicians have access to all of it. My tech's role in phone is priority. So that's the service you get from us.
If the line is compromised or broken, how do you fix it?
Let's say it's been dug up, for example, or let me give you the best one. Little Johnny got a new 22 for his birthday, he pulled the birds off the line. There's both, we do both aerial and buried. When the line is shot, we have the capability of shooting that line from our central office and saying, hey, it's within this scope. We know where that break is. We come out with the trucks, we'll take the line down, we splice it, put a new section in, splice it back up, put the customer back in service. If it's a buried service, we dig it up, put a new one in.
Are we exempt when we dig
This
it
is
up?
probably the same thing I used to work with.
Maybe the first time. The third time at the same pipe is a different conversation.
Wow.
That's what they're rated, so they'll probably do.
I think I know what that is.
And is it still constructed the same way with like Kevlar on it?
Yeah.
It is really? Wow.
Yeah, double Kevlar jackets inside of them, and then we even have armor that we put in the ground.
Oh,
Is
well,
what it
call me if
is.
you need help, okay?
Yes,
Yeah, no,
Well, not after October.
Yeah.
we do. We
Flight to
actually,
Florida.
if we're, when we do bury a line, we put it in a conduit, and we actually float it in our air. That's how we put it down the tube.
Yeah, everything is underground, there's no direct buried.
You float it in.
Correct. We float it on air. And what it does is, if you pull it, you can actually create strain on the glass, where floating it doesn't. It just, the
Less
So
resistant.
once that orange tube is in there, you can keep changing.
keep right on going. Keep right on going.
You know, down by us, they make a big deal out of it.
Oh, it's a big deal. It's great fun.
We'll make a big deal out of it.
Yeah, we really will.
Oh, when you don't put the orange
It's,
thing on
you know, when you talk about that though, right? The majority of the lines are feeding 5 customers up this road, 10 customers up that road. It's not like the majority of the lines are, like you're talking about, inner city stuff connected where everything under the sun is over it and it gets cut and 4,000 people are out of service. That's most likely not what's gonna happen.
There's a fiber cut that happened out here, and I'm not gonna give the exact location, but it took the entire city down. Yeah.
Not all of it. Some
We didn't do it.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yes, it was. Were you working that?
No.
Okay, any more questions for Delhi Telephone Company?
I have one. Do you know, this is a little off topic, but do you know, with Delhi Phone Company, will we be able to port our existing telephone number over? I know with Frontier, that's like asking for the world.
We are working
and
on
some
that.
more.
We're working on that.
Okay, good.
The hope is the timing comes in, but that may have a little lag in when we have the opportunity to provide the television and the internet.
Okay.
May come before the local number portability.
And will we be able to call other than Franklin and not be charged long distance?
Well, Bill could probably speak to that more, but it's essentially, well, I'll let him explain that piece of it.
Once we're set up so you can port to us, then it's pretty much unlimited long distance, so
Okay.
it's the current price of phone service, and that includes all the long distance with it for pretty much continental North America.
So you won't see what you're talking about.
What is that anyway?
What's what?
The charge now? I mean, I use my cell phone, I don't need it, but
It's our rates are on our website.
I don't have any computer, so what is it?
Well, what other people, like a Frontier might have a package where you get 300 minutes or 150 minutes or whatever it is. So if somebody's calling their neighbor and using minutes every day to call their neighbor, they could go over.
Yeah,
But
but what's
what,
your basic?
it's on,
$29.99.
$29.99.
That's starting out at for what?
That's
That's phone and unlimited long distance. That's phone service and just.
And that's phones and internet, it's gonna be what?
Internet is,
$69.99 for 75 by 10.
And is there another service you give?
There's video as well, TV as well. I can't tell you.
they'd be multiple packages too.
So what's the big package altogether?
I'll tell you the price of one of them, that one sticks in my head, and that's the expanded package, and that's $164.99 with a 75 by 10 and phone with long distance.
So these people are gonna be paying $170, so that's $165, then tax on top?
Correct, taxes and
So we're gonna be paying like $180, $190 for your service?
give or take.
Well, you should be giving these guys a lot of money. You should be giving them that free telephone service, whatever they want.
Is he a plant?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's from the city.
Think about the money it's costing us to build this facility to you.
Yeah, but I don't want it.
but that,
You don't have to take it.
I don't need it.
Is this phone service considered a landline, or is this digital? Like, if the power goes out, does the phone go out?
it's digital, but if you get our phone service, we provide 8-hour battery backup by default.
And you can,
So if you go long enough without power, it does fail. But I say our default is 8 hours, and you can buy additional lifetime on the batteries, up to 24 hours on our UPS.
but remember, your mean time to repair is not what you'd be used to in this area either.
But
This
if-
generator
but if-
here is just for TV then, this?
No, the
TV?
generator will keep everything going, but what we're talking about is at the home itself, it's not copper, so there's no minus 48 to power the pair. That's why your phone works in a power outage.
Okay, so at your home,
At your home, you have a battery backup for 8 hours, and you can purchase
you're
additional.
using the electric from the electric company, except when it goes off,
Yes,
and then the battery is there in the box to keep it going for another 8 hours.
yes.
Correct.
And a lot of people are going to backup power supplies, all kinds of things to keep their iPad going in a power outage.
There are
They
other
can,
toys.
yeah, they can watch movies and their modem will work. If they power their modem in that, they're good to go.
Well, NICEAG's not quite as bad as Frontier yet, but, you know, they're
They're working on it?
Well, NICEAG's not near as bad as Frontier, but NICEAG has some issues too. But, I mean, the services of this board and the community has complained about Frontier's service for probably years. And if half of your spiel is true, we're still having a hell of an improvement.
Inside our shelter, then, we commonly call them huts or shelters. Jason's in the habit of calling them cabinets, but they're a little bigger than a cabinet. You can actually walk in them. Inside of that, we also have what's called a battery backup for that service as well. And it's a 200 amp hour battery rack, and it sustains that, whatever is inside that shelter. And in the meantime, when the power is sensed by my generator, the generator comes on and says, hey, I'll take over from here, just like yours does at home.
Right.
And away you go. So we're up and running. You may not have power at your home, but we're up and running.
Right.
And we'll push the signal out. Every site we build, the daisy chain effect to this particular location, every site behind it and every site in front of it will have battery backup and a generator.
That's a huge difference over a Frontier model too.
Right, yep. So any more questions for Delhi Telephone Company? So, now are the concern is, we're gonna change the survey map a little bit.
Yeah, but I would just hold that, because we're not gonna do it tonight anyway.
No, I agree with that.
And I'm gonna be out the rest of the week and be back Monday, so I'll get with the
I
surveyor.
wanna see you tomorrow, come on, you can't take off after tonight.
So I'll be getting with the surveyor to push that back half the distance of the building there, right? And we'll take a look at it as we leave here too. We'll push it back half the distance of the building, you'll get a new drawing so it can be attached to the survey, but I can put that with the survey when I stop to drop off the check.
Okay, so I can sign this, because it's gotta be notarized.
Yeah, you make the motion to
And
agree
we
to
have
sign it and then.
witnesses saying that they are gonna take care of this. And if not,
Well, you make a
I know where
motion-
your office is.
You can make a motion to sign a contingent upon the revised survey, and then these guys authorize it and you sign it when you see the revised survey.
Well, however the board wants to handle it.
Is there any way to get free telephone for the town?
I've never seen that. See, the telephone is the regulated piece, and it just gets, no is the short answer.
That's actually the right answer.
Yeah.
How about we bump your rent up just enough to cover the cost of telephone?
Yeah. I think, I will say this though, I think there's room for improvement in what you have for phone service today. So if you can hold on, I think we'll be able to.
Our monthly costs will be going down.
Yes. In more ways than one, you know, there's more than one way to do that.
So. if you
I'm
would-
agreeable with, if they, especially if they can move the building back, because we are limited on what we have here for space. But other than that, it sounds like it's approvable.
Contingent on me receiving a revised survey.
Yep,
Is that,
Yeah.
would that be the resolution you'd like to see?
I would like to see, yeah.
Okay.
Second that.
Got a motion to second, do we have any more discussion? Yes,
If it's okay with the board, I can bring our surveyor out here while Jason's absent. Now, we'll keep right on.
We'll be around with
well,
it, Jason.
we're sure, you know, there's no doubt in my mind. He's been very,
Just
been
because
very
he's
straightforward.
leaving
Yeah, it's 3 days. 3 days.
None of
Plus,
this,
you're gonna be
Just
on
went to
home on
work there,
Saturday?
how do you get vacation?
Well, the three working days.
I don't know how you did it, because I can't even get it.
Really?
Mark, this won't interfere with anything you have here?
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded and discussion. I guess we'll vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Okay. Well,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.